xAI may be going bankrupt and or ending its creator monetization program soon because they's burning money hand over fist and it ain't good. Ooh, that's at least according to internet rumors and what people are saying on social media, so it could all be totally wrong. But in this video, we're going to report on those rumors, and we're also going to provide some sus evidence that kind of makes people start scratching their head going, oh man, the clock and time might be running out over here. So the first exhibit I'd like to point you to is this. Here's this guy named Zoomy Zoom, okay? Zoomy Zoom literally has a tagline that's Chief Viral SH9T Poster at X, and quote, just a VC tech bro living in an AI slop world. Right. So apparently the guy was complaining that he got 173 million impressions and only made $1,500. So the guy was pissed that he didn't make more money. And after being a subscriber of Nikita Beers, Nikita, who is the head of product at X, writes, check again. And then what happens? Magically, $10,000 appears in Zoomy Zoom's account. And Zoomy goes, oh my gosh. Well, holy F is actually what he wrote. And Nikita says, don't spend it all in one place. Almost clearly and directly taking ownership, almost like a parent giving their child a $50 bill for a date night with their new girlfriend. And it's like, don't spend it all in one place, honey. So obviously, the head of product and Nikita is taking ownership for directly depositing $10,000 into Zoomy Zoom's account after he complains and tags Elon Musk that he wasn't paid enough for his viral SH9T post. He also has a tag, the Kalshi tag here, which suggests that, hey, you're in that VC circle, you're in that fundraising startup world, and you're connected to people who are basically bailing out X. Okay, that gets to the next point. Nikita, who is the head of product at X, is also an advisor at Solana and a venture partner at Lightspeed, and an ex-founder of some other apps. So very well connected in the venture space. And this is nothing to say that's bad about Nikita. It is, however, to say that this person is clearly very involved in the xAI monetization loop, not only for creators, but also likely the biggest source of expenses next to Jensen Huang's NVIDIA chips for X. And it might be exactly why there's now talk about ending the monetization program, because it's likely that the monetization program is too expensive for X. Imagine, for example, if GPT was sending out a lot of money to all of their users. They're already burning a ton of money on chips. And now all of a sudden, they're burning money paying out creators. And so what you got was this post at the end of September from Nikita that says, at this point, I think creator payouts do more harm than good. We need to off-ramp to a different system. Okay, this is really interesting. So it's not saying that the monetization program is dead, but literally the guy who's capable of directing monetization payments is like, you know, this monetization program isn't that good. And this is leading to a lot of debate. A lot of people are like, you know what? That's right. We shouldn't have to incentivize people to post because then they're just going to try to engagement farm. Like, you know, people post up these posts like, what do you notice about this picture of Taylor Swift's thighs? And it's just pure engagement farming. Like, it's not providing any value at all, right? But that gets a lot of engagement, which gets monetization. The stuff I post doesn't get a lot of engagement. Like here, Modi assured me today India will not buy Russian oil. Now we need to get China to do that too. Or drug cartels have world-class, very fast speedboats, says Trump, but they're not faster than missiles. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of badass, right? Or like earlier, I'm just like, who's dumping? The stock market was selling off briefly. Or like this one. I'm literally shaking with excitement over what my legal tech broker and crypto team just revealed we are launching with HouseHack/reinvest soon. Total game changer for real estate, real world assets, tokenization, and reinvesting. Stay tuned. I'm gonna make my boy Vlad jealous. I get 127 likes, 128. There, I was born on 128, so it's kind of cool, right? Where do you get all the time to do this? The Meet Kevin membership, of course. On which blockchain? We, by the way, are talking, like a lot of people have hit me up after I mentioned Solana, Ethereum, XRP all being considered, even Cardano was considered there for a moment. Yes, by the way, HouseHack owns Reinvest, and there are some questions here about tokenization and stuff. Anyway, that's all totally a topic for a different video. Sorry, I get on these tangents. But anyway, the point is, this guy's a VC, bro, and VCs are the ones who are funding the snot out of xAI right now. And so when a VC bro complains, what a surprise, they get a direct subsidy. But what's actually going on? Like, who actually runs the fundamentals and the finances at X? Well, according to Wall Street Journal, the people who run the financials at X are actually just Elon Musk's family office. So now Elon's attorneys are pissed about that. They don't want that coming out. But apparently, the people who oversee Elon Musk's financial operations, his personal family office, are the same people who run the financials at xAI. And there are complaints that there is no formal chain of command. Probably it just goes through them and then Elon. It's almost like a piggy bank, basically, for them. But at this point, it's just a money-losing piggy bank. And these people have been directors and still are of Elon Musk's family office. There are a lot of fears that Elon's got to do whatever he can to keep the ship alive because this is his tool for fighting Sam Altman. So whatever needs to be done to keep venture capitalists happy is what they're going to do. And maybe that's why we saw that payment to that creator, because X is fine. Look, we could pay you 10 grand. But on the other hand, we probably need to shut down this program because we're paying people too much money. Now, why is there talk about potential frustration? Also, well, remember, Linda Yaccarino left. She's the CEO of X. Remember when Grok went all anti-Semitic? Yeah, Linda Yaccarino bailed on that. I think now it's like the opposite of anti-Semitic. Yesterday, I actually got in a debate with Grok, and it was like super pro-Israel and anti-Hamas. And like, I was just trying to share like facts because I was trying to educate my son on like how many children died in Gaza. And I'm like, look, this number could be wrong. You know, it could be half as much or a third as much. But even if it's anywhere close to this number, it's still terrible. I asked my son, how many kids are in your class? And he's like, 24. And I'm like, did you know that in the 2-year war in Gaza, a classroom per day of children was killed? A classroom per day of children was killed. So, I mean, this is just my opportunity then to go, so don't tell me you're having a bad day, son. Like, we gotta be grateful for what we got going on here, because that's freaking terrible. I'm like, 50 mommies and daddies died a day in Gaza, and don't tell me they were all Hamas. Hamas is a scumbag, shitbag group of terrorists. But don't tell me they were all Hamas. But we don't have to go into that. We just have to be grateful that right now there's peace. Hopefully for now, and hopefully it lasts long. And this isn't an Israel topic, right? Like, I have no bone to pick with anybody unless you're a murderer or a terrorist. I hate that. Again, what matters here is that a lot of people are worried that X is blatantly running out of money. And so this is where we go, X, are they audited? Because X is burning through about $1 billion per month. They're hoping to make $13 billion by 2029. That's what they're hoping to make in income by 2029. That's 4 years down the road. But that's only because I think Morgan Stanley is kind of forcing them to put together some kind of projection, because otherwise they wouldn't end up getting investors. So you just Google like 13 billion, Elon Musk, xAI, and then do, a Bloomberg story in Morgan Stanley. It's very simple. Like the banks, they don't care what the investment is. They just want you to make the investment so that way you could turn around and sell it. Like the bank just wants to make the fees, get people on the Morgan Stanley platform and make the fees. Here it is. Beyond the frenzy around an AI, as of late, internal numbers the bank revealed to a select group of investors Thursday show a company that anticipates generating $13 billion of annual revenues by 2029. Okay, in 4 years, xAI hopes to make as much money as OpenAI is literally earning right now. OpenAI hits $12 billion in annualized revenue, and it's expected to be more than that. They're probably already at $13 billion ARR. already right now. In 4 years, Grok expects to be up at that level. So Grok's like 20 times behind OpenAI. And then Anthropic, they just actually had a story that came out. Where was it? Anthropic, look at this. Anthropic's revenue just hit $9 billion annualized by the end of 2025. That's probably also like 10 to 15x what Grok is doing. So it's no surprise there's a little bit of a scramble here to raise money. Now, what I want you to see is what's going on with audits and financials. So Alex, the personal attorney of Elon Musk, he says that X is audited by PwC. Technically, private companies don't have to be audited. So they're like, well, we're audited, so it's good. Okay, that's true. If you do Reg D offerings, to accredited investors, you don't need audited financials. Now, if you raise from unaccredited investors, like what we do at HouseHack, you go to, househack.com and you're like, yeah, I want to invest in HouseHack because it's backed by real estate and, we've got the AI coming out or whatever. We're going to be updating the website with like real screenshots here of our AI. It's going to be like, we start showing the screenshots of some of our AI, it's going to be pretty sick. But anyway, what's remarkable is when you raise money from non-accredited investors, you have to get audited financial statements. So our financial statements are audited. But we actually chose to go a step further. We get what are called PCAOB audits. These are like the medallion standard for audits. They're IPO grade level audits. They're really, really hard to get. And they're a pain in the butt and they're expensive. But it's good. It keeps everyone honest. And that's what I want. Like I'm a YouTuber, okay? I always look, I go, man, I gotta go like one step further than everybody else to make sure everything's just like above board because people are like, he's a YouTuber, that still has like a negative connotation to people. But anyway, so the interesting thing is the attorney for xAI says that they have PwC audits. But what's interesting is PCAOB has sanctioned, aka fined, PwC on multiple occasions for failing to meet quality and independence standards. So in other words, the audits we get at my little baby startup HouseHack are not only way better than what xAI is doing with their financials, but the entity that does these IPO grade audits and certifies accounting firms to be able to say they do PCAOB audits is basically saying the same company that's auditing xAI is shit. Okay? We're just going to put pieces of the puzzle together here. You got to make your own conclusions. We're just putting the pieces of the puzzle on the table. Now, understand some of the fundraising here, okay? And I wrote this all in the Meet Kevin app. Remember, you can download the Meet Kevin app for free. So, in the Meet Kevin app, I wrote, here's some of the prior funding rounds. Prior funding, $6 billion Series B in May of 2024, $6 billion more in December of 2024. They probably burned all of that money in 2024. Then they did a $10 billion mid-2025 round, which that's the very same deal that Elon Musk denied as fake news, and then 30 days later, they did the deal. This is kind of similar to when Elon Musk is like, oh, fake news that the lower cost Tesla is canceled. And then it's like, hey guys, the lower cost car is canceled. It doesn't make sense to make the lower cost car. Okay, Elon. So anyway, I think this is why I don't get a lot of views on X, because I just dump on like the truth. Like I'll even dump on myself. Like the truth is really what matters in my opinion. And so I dump on everyone. I don't care if it's Biden or Trump or everyone. But if I like something you do, I'll call it out too. But anyway, then all of a sudden there's like this emergency $2 billion investment from SpaceX, which is really weird because SpaceX doesn't invest in other outside companies. So I guess the 10 bill wasn't enough. And now all of a sudden we got to get another $2 billion investment from SpaceX. And then we just got a $20 billion money raise from NVIDIA, Sequoia, Lightspeed. That's where Nikita works. Sequoia, Fidelity, BlackRock, Tribe Capital, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of 2024, they were only reporting $100 million of annual recurring revenue, probably like $500 million now, maybe, hopefully. I mean, that's still good, but it's nowhere near what they're spending. But this last round is not even just equity anymore. Companies are like, nah, we want you to pay this back. It's actually mostly debt. $12.5 billion of debt, $7.5 billion of equity. So now, this is where things get really interesting. Elon Musk comes up with a stock comp plan and invests some money into Tesla, propping up Tesla stock. He basically propped up Tesla stock by the tune of about $100 a share after that sort of enthusiasm, right? I mean, we were tracking the technicals of this for a while. We were like, holy smokes, if we break out a 347, we kept bouncing off 318 over here. I'm like, if we break out a 347, we're going to 414. We've been at 414 over and over and over and over again. This is the technical analysis we do in the Meet Kevin membership every day before the market opens up. You can use coupon code SCHUMERSIESTA and join. You get lifetime access. Pay once, you get lifetime access. But what's remarkable here is Elon Musk kind of wants to pump the stock because he wants shareholders to approve Tesla investing in xAI. So in other words, let's take every potential cash flow avenue, like Tesla stock, which is public, or SpaceX, which has a lot of investors in it. I mean, my venture capital company has exposure to SpaceX. I think we're doing really well on it. I love SpaceX. I love my Starlink. But anyway, we're now going to take money from those entities and feed X because we really need to fund Colossus 2. Now, Colossus 2 is supposedly going to end up generating or buying somewhere around 300,000 NVIDIA chips, but then Elon Musk updated that to 550,000 NVIDIA chips, and then it was updated to maybe even be 1 million NVIDIA chips. So nobody really knows. All I know is with the post that I post on X, I get like $63 a pay period here on X. So I'm really not posting on X for the money. And I for like 2 years paid for the yellow check mark because I was a big fan of like, hey, I'm going to support, free speech or whatever. But, then I get a little nervous when I see stuff like this and I'm like, man, I really feel like I'm paying and you're not actually seeing the promotion of free speech. You're kind of seeing the promotion of selective free speech. Because anybody who says anything bad about Elon or like even remotely critical of Elon, their views go to crap on X. Maybe not surprising. Now, Anthony Scaramucci, because, this is a trustable face, says that the xAI merger feels inevitable. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, it's fine. And then, of course, Nikita says, but don't worry, we are blowing up on user downloads for X. Right. And then when we're asked, okay, which countries? Globally. Yes. So how many of those are bots? The X bot problem is problematic. YouTube has actually gotten a lot better at dealing with the bots than X. And Elon bought X, promising to get rid of the termites. The bots. Yeah. So, I mean, when you put all of this together, can we say definitively that X is bankrupt? No, of course not. Can we say definitively that X is getting rid of its monetization program? No, of course not. There's no evidence of that. That's like just clickbait drama circulating on the internet. But the reality is, are there probably financial concerns? Like, are they leasing a lifestyle they can't afford buying all these NVIDIA chips? Probably yes. Now, is that why Jensen Huang's like, I love Elon. I wish I could have more Elon in my life. I mean, to me, this is literally like the casino manager from Full House who sees a rich client walk in and they're like, welcome to the Hotel Alibaba and Casino. First class room. Please spend your money with me. Oh, I love you. It's sort of like the guy's just trying to sell his casino. Jensen's just trying to sell his chips. And you got to give Jensen credit. He's a bad A for being a great salesperson of his chips. I don't even have a chip on my shoulder over that. I got NVIDIA stock too. I keep telling people in my Meet Kevin membership, I'm like, watch, you're going to know as I'm trimming NVIDIA stock, you're going to get the alerts. And I'm going to put it into other investments and you're going to get to see it all. Obviously, I can't give you personalized financial advice, and I can't guarantee any of the information in this video because, who knows? Before I know it, I'm going to get a letter from Alex, and they're going to be like, "We're gonna sue you for revealing this stuff." It's sort of like the same kind of like bully pulpit stuff that goes on. Like, there's literally a guy going, "Everybody who made a bad video about Binance FUD." You better delete your posts, otherwise you're gonna get your name on a big list and we're gonna identify you as spreading FUD and we're gonna hand you over to Binance to sue you. He's been talking about this for days, about like wanting to sue people and stuff. So I made sure to jump into here. Like, you literally have people who are posting, deleted mine, and he goes, thank you. I see altcoin Gordon got wise and deleted all. Yup, he didn't have a choice. He was at the top of the list. And this is the kind of censorship that's going on here. So then I reply and I write, make sure you add me to your list, you weenie bitch. And then I link, here's my fear, uncertainty, and doubt video on Binance, because I hate Binance. I don't trust the guy as far as I can throw him. So bring it on. But yeah, there you have it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and good luck.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.